What sphinx of cement and aluminum bashed open their skulls and ate up their brains and imagination? Murdoch! Solitude, filth, ugliness, ash cans, and unobtainable dollars. Children screaming under the stairways. Boys sobbing in armies. Old men weeping in the parks. Murdoch! Murdoch! Nightmare of Murdoch! Murdoch the loveless, Rupert Murdoch, mental Murdoch, Murdoch the heavy judger of men, Murdoch the incomprehensible prison, Murdoch the crossbones soulless jailhouse and Congress of sorrows, Murdoch whose buildings are judgment, Murdoch the vast stone of war, Murdoch the stunned governments, Murdoch whose mind is pure machinery, Murdoch whose blood is running money, Murdoch whose fingers are 10 armies, Murdoch whose breast is a cannibal dynamo, Murdoch whose ear is a smoking tomb, Murdoch whose eyes are 1,000 blind windows, Murdoch whose skyscrapers stand in along streets like endless Jehovah's, Murdoch whose factories dream and croak in the fog, Murdoch whose smokestacks and antenna crown the cities, Murdoch whose love is endless oil and stone, Murdoch whose soul is electricity and banks, Murdoch whose poverty is the specter of genius, Murdoch whose fate is a cloud of sexless hydrogen, Murdoch whose name is the mind, Murdoch in whom I sit lonely, Murdoch in whom I dream angels, crazy in Murdoch, sucker in Murdoch, lack love and malice in Murdoch, Murdoch who entered my soul early, Murdoch in whom I was a consciousness without a body, Murdoch who frightened me out of my natural ecstasy, Murdoch whom I abandon, wake up in Murdoch, light streaming out of the sky, Murdoch, Murdoch, robot apartments, invisible suburbs, skeleton treasuries, blind capitals, demonic industries, spectral nations, invincible madhouses, granite cocks, monstrous bombs. They broke their backs, lifting Murdoch to heaven.